As always, to find out what the latest is in the Gaza Strip, let's speak to Tariq Abazoum, who's in Deir el-Balah. You have some new information that seems to have just come through.
Yeah, that's right, Tara. We have heard, and so on the Telegram channel of the military spokesperson of the military wing of Hamas, Abu Ubaidah, he issued a statement saying that after communication was restored with fighters charged with the protection of Israeli captives, it became clear that one of the enemy's female prisoners was killed in an area subjected to Israeli aggression. Let me read for you also what the statement added. It added that the life of another female prisoner who was imprisoned with that female that was killed in the north of the Strip is still in danger. Also, the statement concluded that the enemy, he means here Israel, must prepare to deal with the disappearance of the bodies of the dead prisoners due to the widespread destruction and the martyrdom of those fighters who were responsible to protect those prisoners. This is one of the new updates that we managed to get from the military wing of Hamas, which could be a sign of the very remarkable and surging battles taking place in the north of the Strip and the very wide-scale Israeli military campaign in the north that had destroyed the vast majority of the milestone of life in Northern Gaza. We need to remind our viewers that the captives deal was one of the main sticking points to reach a ceasefire deal approachable and workable between Hamas and Israel on the ground. We have heard multiple times and repeatedly that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is saying that the only way to restore captives is by increasing the military pressure and keep fighting in Gaza until they manage to return all captives home. And while from Hamas side they have expressed their ability to immediately conduct any prisoner exchange deal with the Israeli army on the ground, as long as the Israeli military could be completely committed to halt and even cessate all the military actions across the Gaza Strip. That is a very somber reality is taking place on the ground. The Israeli army is pressing on with their military offensive on the ground, and on the other hand, they gradually are losing their captives, which means that the families of the captives will be in a very critical situation, and which in turn could exert more pressure on the Israeli Prime Minister to accelerate the opportunity to reach a ceasefire deal on the ground.
Absolutely, Tariq. This is something we haven't heard for a while, which is the captive situation. So that's some big news there. That's been confirmed by Hamas, yet to be confirmed by the Israelis. So we'll be following that and keeping our audiences across that. But as you were saying there, Israel has insisted, at least the Prime Minister and the military, that the only way to bring the captives back is through military action. And that's what it's certainly been doing now for over a year, because it's been relentless. It hasn't stopped. And if anything, the situation has gotten much worse, especially for those in the north of the Gaza Strip.
Yeah, that's right. It's, by the way, getting much more worse, and there is a very significant escalation taking place on the ground in comparison with the early months of the Israeli military campaign in the Gaza Strip. We keep hearing huge explosions, in fact, taking place in multiple geographical locations across the Gaza Strip. One of the latest had targeted a group of Palestinians in the suburbs of Deir el-Balah in the eastern corner of the central areas of the Gaza Strip. As far as we know, that 2 Palestinians have been confirmed killed, while a batch of casualties was transferred and transported to Al-Aqsa Hospital, where we are at the moment, by locals who have rushed to the site of the strike in order to rescue those victims and casualties. We also saw Israeli quadcopter drones extensively operating in the central areas of Gaza, in particular in the northern part of An-Nusayrat refugee camp, and they are not alone. They are also accompanied by the Israeli fighter jets, which continue to hammer residential building in the eastern areas of Al-Barej refugee camp. Both areas are just close to where we are, and we saw the smoke just coming on from the site of the strike, especially in the skyline of Al-Barej refugee camp. We have also heard from medical sources that since the early hours of this morning and since dawn today, more than 26 Palestinians confirmed killed, and within the past 24 hours we are talking about 120 Palestinians killed. These figures could be a very stark indication about the brutality taking place in Gaza with no let-up on the ground, Sarah.
Yeah, of course, as you were saying there, Tariq, strikes still continuing. And in the area that you have been, we saw those pictures earlier. Thank you very much for that update, Tariq Abu Azzoum.